Okay, part 2 of this challenge. I was going to thin this down some more, but I'll do this probably in part 3. Let me try to thin these down first. I've been working tough stone all day, so maybe I can make some progress with these. This one's going to be the most difficult. This is a quartzite, it looks like. This is some of this stuff. So I'm going to do this one first. Do the easiest one first, what I think will be the easiest, and then we'll get harder and harder. That way I don't wear myself out in the beginning. So yeah, start with abrading. It's got to be well abraded. I think I might keep this general shape. Yeah. Just make it thinner and a little bit more narrow. Alright, I'm going to use the steel. Just because that's the default whenever I'm working something difficult. A little bit of glare on the lens because it's broken, in case you're just tuning in and you wonder what that glare is. It's from a broken lens on my camera phone, my phone camera, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I gotta get that lens fixed. I broke the lens during the last nap-in that I went to. I dropped my phone several times on rocks. Luckily, that was all that broke. Yeah, luckily. Alright. So, yep, gotta smack it really hard. Super smacks. What I call super smacks. Nice material. I like this one. This gray stuff is pretty cool. I'm going to drop the striking edge or striking area down a little bit more. It's too high. One side's already pretty flat, so that's standard procedure on these kinds of things that I like to do. Flatten one side and then remove the turtlebacks on the other side after one side is flat. And I just do everything randomly, opportunistically. I was in the process of doing something else just now and I switched because I saw some opportunities. And it lets me get used to the material again. If I do these little things first, I can kind of see what it's going to be doing, how it's reacting to the steel. I mean, it was only, what, yesterday that I was chipping the other one. But, you know, you forget. Well, I do anyway. I slept already. Oh, we slept since then, so you know how the saying goes. So when I ask you, you remember what happened yesterday? Not really. I slept since then. That kind of thing. Is that a real thing? Sleeping makes you forget? No, it's just funny. Supposedly. Statistically speaking, 1/3 of you don't think that's funny in the least. No. Alright, let's see. I don't know, what should I do? There's some weirdness going on in here. right there. I don't know if I should direct attack it. Too late, I already direct attacked it. How can I wonder and then do something at the same time? Two brains, conscious and subconscious. Actually, probably more areas of the brain than that. Yeah. All right. That's not going to work. I got to get it right up next to that. So let's get right up next to the lump, and then I can do a direct strike on the side. So it's not just angles on the platforms or the striking areas. It's not just the angles that you prepare on the edge. It's not just the angle that you hit, although those two are important. You know, this angle and that angle on the striking area and the angle of this, those two are important things, but that's not all. You got to make sure that the flake that you're going to take is going to do what you want to do. So in order to take this lump off, I got to get up close to it, it appears, because it's a tough stone. And it's going to resist, you know, if I've already shot flakes in this way, they're not really traveling all that far. So I can't thin it from that side easily. So I'm going to attack it from this side, but in order to do that, I've got to get right up next to it because it's a big mass. And I want to be able to scoop out a big scoop. Hopefully. I can't scoop out a big scoop with a thin edge. Like, see that? I can't scoop out a big scoop here with enough mass to peel that off. I don't know how to explain, but it's easier if you just get right up next to the obstacle. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. I can whittle it down little by little. See, 3 strikes into that area. I whittle it down. I'm going to do another strike here. Yeah. As it gets flatter and flatter, it'll become easier and require less force to remove these flakes. Let's see. I'm going to hit from inside this concavity. See if that works. Yep, little bit. It was not that effective, but it worked a little bit. I will take advantage of every opportunity, so I'm gonna try to strike one in this way from the very corner here. Yeah, that helped a little bit, but it stepped. Yeah, typical problem because of the material is inconsistent, and just that's a long flake as it is, so I can't expect too much.
Mario, that space you just did is downright historic.
Okay, I stopped the video, then restarted it. Somehow, something on Twitter started playing in the background. I think it was from Twitter. Yes, I got back on Twitter so I could check out the news or the latest PSYOP. Yeah. Unfortunately, you get the weirdness with the news. I think you could hear that. If I can hear that during the video, then you could hear it. Anyway. That's never happened before. I gotta fix that setting. If there's a setting for that. Setting is probably just a uninstall Twitter. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, that one traveled okay. Yeah, that went right across. Very nice. All right. Another direct attack with a long flake. Starting to get thinner. I'm hitting it very, very hard, and I'm making sure I abrade it a lot. Yeah, so now it's just straightforward thinning, no turtleback anymore. Just thick spots here and there that are not too bad. And not breaking it. Yeah, cannot break it. That's the other thing I got to do. How can not doing something be doing something? I will have to ensure that it doesn't break. Try to, anyway. By not thinning it too much and knowing the limits of the stone. It's actually pretty good because I was able to shoot a long flake from the corner. It takes a strong stone to be able to do that. Flexible. There's plenty of strong stones that are not flexible. They're very brittle. So it has to be strong and flexible to be assured of running long flakes. Now that was kind of careless on my part right there. That step fracture. See that? That was careless. I took too much of a bite into the stone. Too much inward force. Yeah, by mistake. So now I'm going to have to run over the top of this not very easy to knap area. It's not an ideal situation. So I'm just picking at it. No pressure, no pressure flaking yet. I can hit a pretty sharp platform. It amazes me with this stuff. Yeah, but I'm pushing my limit. When it gets to this stage, when it's already thin and I don't need to add or don't need to use a lot of force, the edges are standing up pretty well to the strikes, even though they're kind of thin. But I shouldn't take those kind of chances, because eventually I'm going to get a crushed edge that's going to be very difficult to remove if I keep up that strategy. You know, I'm trying to be taking shortcuts and not grinding the edge. I often try to take shortcuts to see if I can get away with them, but it's not that great of a habit to get into. Yeah, I know. I do it all the time, but it's not that great of a strategy. It's just kind of expedient. And if you can live with the errors, then it's fine. If you want to produce an error-free point, As long as you got the skill, you can do it. That's fine. But if you're some personality types, when you're trying to do something perfect, it's very difficult to know when to stop. When is good enough? So I never try to do it perfectly. So then I can say stop at any point I want, really. Almost any point I can say, okay, that's good enough. Ooh, I blew off that ear just then. Yeah, that's not good. I gotta quickly symmetritize it now so that no one knows what's happening, or no one saw it, right? You're not paying attention. If I quickly make it symmetrical, you won't be able to tell. Yeah. You won't be able to tell that I blew that ear off. Okay, let me pay attention here. Stop interrupting me. Almost got it. I almost got that step fracture from the other side. Dang it. Okay. Almost does not work in Flintknapping. It does in horseshoes and some other game. I forget what it is. Almost does not work in Flintknapping. How many of us are old enough to remember playing horseshoes? Do young people play horseshoes? They got a different game where they throw beanbags at a piece of wood with a hole in it. I'm so old I don't even know what the name of that game is. Anyway. It's because it's kind of new, right? I think. I don't know. But yeah, I played horseshoes. Yeah, when I was little. I played with frisbees. That was one of the favorite ones. I used to draw hopscotch patterns, or whatever they call them, on the sidewalk for the girls, my sisters sometimes. I don't see people, or I don't, yeah, it's usually girls that used to play that. I don't see them playing hopscotch anymore. They usually play selfie time on social media. All right. So what is it going to be? What is this going to be? I don't know. It's just a concave base something. I'm going to blow another ear off if I'm not careful. I'm just trying to thin it down and trying to do it quickly. Still trying to get that step fracture out. Just because it's not that attractive, really. So I'll try to get it out. Let's see, this side. Let's see, where is it? This side has a step fracture as well, right? But this is the worst one. if I take a flake from here, it could fan out and get it, but this is the hardest spot here, most difficult. But it did it, thanks to the nappability of this material. It naps pretty well, so even though it's hard, it's tough stuff, it naps pretty well. Even through the concretey area. Alright, this up here is high grade, this stuff is low grade. But for low grade stuff, it's not too bad, so it's in the upper end of the low grade stuff. I feel like I'm going to break it. It feels like I'm going to break it, so I'm not hitting it hard enough to make those flakes travel. So I've got an island right there. Let me see. It's going to make me strategize. It's going to make me hit it with super smacks, and it's going to make me strategize. Okay. Alright. It's going to make me clean up the tool as well. Alright. All this because I need a long flake to get rid of that island. Long flakes are the hardest thing in flint knapping. Other than thinning a thin point and not breaking it. Running long flakes is very difficult. Did it do it? Well, it started to encroach in on the island. It got a little step still steppy. Let's see if I can get it from this side. Turn. You guys that can't turn your flakers because they're shaped, not rounded. If they're not rounded in shape, you can't turn it. Or if they're fixed in position because you got it in some kind of a device, you're missing out. Yep. Turning it allows you to expose fresh metal to the edge, so you don't have little rock chips in there without having to, regrind the tip. You just turn it a little bit and you get a fresh metal surface, so that the rock chips are not interfering with the force being driven into the edge. Alright, is that good enough? I think that's good enough for this piece for now. I'm going to finish these up together. You know what I mean? So once I get the general shape, I finished like the first. I'm not going to do anything more to this one, so this is pretty much finished. But these two, and I'll finish on a different video, but I just got them thinned down, so that's good enough. Let's move on to this one. Ooh, we got stuff like this in Texas, and I don't mess with it unless I heat treat it. Yeah, this stuff I don't mess with unless I heat treat it. But for the video, I'm gonna mess with it. Okay, I'm gonna have to strike this extremely hard, so I don't want my fingers to get all messed up. Alright, here we go. Thank you for sending me a little briquette. Yeah. Thanks, Angelo. hard hit number 1. Dicey hit number 2. So 2 dicey or risky hits from the tip. They worked out all right. Hard hit number 2. These are going to be all hard hits here. Try to get rid of the turtle back little by little. I won't be able to pop it off in one go. It's going to have to be little by little. Okay. And like the other one, there's more of the lump on one side than the other. So I'm going to try to get close to that, as close to that lump as possible before I send the flake in. All right. Direct attack with an extremely hard hit. That one didn't do anything except make it more crumbly. Perfect. I didn't do anything. All right, that was the hardest hit so far. Okay, it's gonna have to be harder than that on this next one. All right, so I'm gonna hit with the top of the mallet, holding it way down here so that the velocity of the mallet increases a lot, and that allows me to strike extremely hard. Okay, and if I didn't have my glove on, I could accidentally injure one of my fingers. Luckily, with indirect percussion, it removes these flakes before it knows what's happening, so there's not much shock on the piece, but sometimes there is if you don't hit it right. You hit your finger or your hand with the workpiece, it'll ram into one of your knuckles or somewhere sensitive on your hand, and you'll go, ah, man. And then you're napping like, oh, my finger, and it doesn't work right. I did not grind it enough on that one. Ah, I slipped. That was bound to happen. See what? I put pressure on it, and when that happens, sometimes I slip and I hit the workpiece with the mallet. Okay. I'm not trying not to damage any of these, but oh well. This is napping a little bit easier than I thought, because if it was really, really tough, hitting the workpiece with the mallet wouldn't have done anything to it. But it broke it, so it's not that tough. I have to watch that pressure that I apply beforehand. It helps a lot, but it has its drawbacks, because you can slip off the striker, and then you get in big trouble, especially if you're hitting with a lot of velocity, which I was. So yeah, I gotta be very careful. And it was going good too. Alright. It's getting so small that the glove is interfering. So here we go. Still hitting it extremely hard, and it will mess with my fingers if I don't do it right. Okay. So this is another velvety feeling piece of stone. This challenge is giving me a deja vu because I think I've done something similar. Yeah. A long time ago I did a video similar to this. I'm feeling like I've been here before. Very hard hits, very, very hard. And this lighter color area does not like to cooperate. So I don't recommend getting more of this, okay? If you're gonna nap, don't nap this stuff. Unless there's a bunch of it for free, which probably is, right? What do you mean don't nap it? That's what I've got the most of. Yeah, probably so. I have the most of this stuff that you told me not to nap. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's a likely outcome, right? I was reading on Twitter that the most likely outcome is the most entertaining one. No. I don't think so. Definitely not. Unless disappointment is your idea of entertainment. Yeah. If disappointment is your idea of entertainment, or dumpster fires, or people being authoritarians, if that's your idea of entertainment, then yeah, okay, that's the most likely. But that's not entertaining for me. And entertaining is subjective. So the most likely outcome is the subjective one? I don't know. Open to interpretation? Everyone's idea of entertaining is different, so how can it be satisfying to everyone's entertaining type proclivities or whatever? You're assuming it's going to be entertaining for everyone? Or only certain people? Probably only certain people, because we know. Yeah, the people that say stuff like that think they know. Yeah. And when they say stuff like that, it's highly unexpected and it's not entertaining. When you say the likely outcome, the most likely outcome is the most entertaining, that's not entertaining to me. I would never have thought to write a script that would say the most likely outcome is the most entertaining one. No. For me, the most entertaining outcome would be the funniest one. Funny, as in humor. Not entertaining as in, oh yeah, that satisfies my longing for pleasure. No. The most entertaining would be funny. Yeah. And I guarantee that the eventual outcome is not funny. No. At least 1/3 of the time. Even if it is funny, some people are not going to think. 30% of them are not going to think it's funny anyway. So again, it's subjective. All right. here we go. Does it do it? Is it doing it? Am I getting thinner or approaching a place where I can start thinking about doing something with it because it's nice and thin and smooth surfaced? This is not smooth surfaced. What am I gonna do? Stop dropping my stuff. Stop talking about Twitter because it gets me all frustrated. All right. Excuse me while I go into the zone a little bit. I've got to clear that surface, or try to. I don't know. That's not going to do it. I'm going to have to change the shape entirely. I wanted to try to keep the original shape, but to get to that mess, I'm going to have to change the shape. You'll see. What am I talking about? Well, first I'm going to try to attempt to not change the overall shape. I got a couple of options. I can make it more narrow. I mean, much more narrow. Well, three options basically. I can clip the corners and then drive in flakes from the corners, or I can put a concavity in the base and try to thin it from the base. So three basic options: more narrow, clip the corners and drive in. You know, more narrow, drive in, clip the corners and drive in, or concave the base and drive in. Three basic options for attacking that area. I'm going to go for more narrow right now. I don't want to clip the corners or go to a concave base. But if making it more narrow it doesn't work, I should probably use the cheater tool or something on it. Hold on. Let's try the cheat method. I'm going to try to push off on that step fracture with a pressure flaker first, and then we'll try the attack from the sides. All right, let's see. I bent this earlier today, pushing on it extremely hard. Okay, that took off that portion. See if we can do the upper. Yes, okay. Maybe we don't have to go into more narrow. Maybe. Ooh, it did do it. Nice. Does it do it on this too? No. Maybe. Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Yeah. Alright, so I got an idea. Let's regularize it. We're skipping that part. We're skipping the regularization. Here we go. Oh, you don't like pressure flaking? That's unusual. It doesn't like it. Well, it likes it up here. Yeah, this is friendly material on the tip. Friendly. Friendly. Guys from Europe watching it because it's European flint, asking yourselves, why is he talking that way? Friendly. Because English is funny. To pronounce it like an American, I would say friendly. Friendly. With no D in there. Or barely any D sound. So I put the D sound in there. And it sounds stupid. Yeah. On purpose. Yeah. Who wants to take themselves really seriously? Oh, I forget. The people that say that the most entertaining outcome is the most likely outcome. Yeah. They want to take themselves seriously. I suppose. Because I didn't see any laughing in the comments when they say that. So I don't think it's supposed to be a joke. Although who knows? Maybe it's a joke. Maybe I missed the joke. Is there a joke in there somewhere? I don't know. I don't like those kinds of jokes if that's what the case. If that's what it is, that's not entertaining. Okay. Here we go. Everybody is ready? I think so. Thinning stage. Sweat stage. Starting to sweat even though I'm already sweating because it's over 100 degrees. Yes, still at night. It cooled down last night, but it didn't cool down tonight. Somehow Mother Nature doesn't want these summer nights to be cool anymore. Alright, here we go. Turn. See if that important strike did it. Did it do it? No. It didn't travel the whole length of the piece. Supposed to. It's supposed to because it's small now. You're supposed to travel now. Because the distance is shorter. Okay, come on. Oh, that didn't even go at all. It's not doing it. How did I end up with a step fresher there anyway? I don't know. See, this up here is nice. Why can't you guys down below be this nice? Huh? Yeah. It's translucent up there too. See, that's nice. You guys are not nice down here. It's a losing battle. Although I got rid of a lot of the big obstacles, these little ones are going to require me to be way too picky with the edge. I got to isolate the platforms and strike in very precise ways. Yeah, you're going to make me work too hard, take too long. Come on. I just wanted to finish this in an expedient, normal way. It's not going to let me. Or is it? I don't know. It doesn't look that great. It's not looking that great. Got crunchies in the middle. Yeah. It's going to make me have to isolate specific areas. Plan some routes for these flakes to travel. Look for ridges that are the strong ridges and the weak ridges, and reinforce the strong ridges that go into that area by developing a better striking area at the origination point of the ridge. Oh, all the stuff I don't like doing. And yes, I'm a flint napper and I don't like doing flint napping stuff. Riddle me that one, Batman. Did it do it? Can I take a shortcut and just do that? It tried to do it. Alright, here we go. Ooh, I can probably keep going. Keep going. Yes. I did keep going. First went to there, then I popped that out, and then I popped that out. And then I'm going to say, that was just one big old flake. Oh, yeah. That's what the archaeologist would say. You got lucky with that flake. Yeah, shh, it's not luck. It's a trick. It's a cheat. I cheated. I have a hack. I have a paleo hack, or a primitive hack that I did that with. Yeah. Did they have primitive hacks back in the day? See, you don't even know. Do ya? What do you think? Yeah, they did have primitive hacks to do certain stuff. Then you ask, how was it made? Well, do you know what hacks they had to get stuff done? No? How can you answer how it was made then? You don't even know. What kind of hacks? What kind of cheats they can do to get the job done? You don't even know. And you were saying you know how they did it. And you're even asking the question so that people have to go looking for the answer that they can't get. So they're gonna make something up. So they don't look stupid. They don't look like, oh, I don't know. Why is this so hard to figure out how they were made? Why? People will ask. It can't be that hard. All right, well, you tell me what kind of hacks they had to cheat to get certain things done. Do you know? No? Can you imagine? How many can you imagine? 2 or 3? Which one did they use? If they had 3 different hacks, the best you can get is 1 out of 3 chance of being right. That's the best you can get. What if they had like 6 or 7 different ways to do stuff? That when they got into trouble, like with turtlebacks, you think they all had a strategy all had the same strategy for getting rid of turtlebacks? You do? Yeah. That's not the most entertaining outcome. Probably the most likely, but it's not the most entertaining. All right. Here we go. Did it do it? Yes, it did it. Finally. It went across the middle without stopping. And I didn't even have to create special striking areas or be overly concerned with strategy or ridge following. Yeah. I didn't even have to resharpen the tool. I just kept using the same old dull tool that's dirty and got chips in it. Yeah. There you go. So there. It's doing it. It is doing it. How is it even possible? that it's doing it. I don't know. How did I do that? I don't know. If I don't even know how I did it, how are you supposed to know how they used to do it? Oh no, here we go. I'm just trying to get the edge regularized, and look what you do. Look what it did. Okay, I gotta stop goofing around and see what I can do keeping the surface smooth. Come on. Don't make me sharpen the spatula tool too. Okay. I'm acting like it's really bad. This stuff's not that bad, actually. It's not that bad. I've napped a lot worse. Oh yes. But like I said, I would heat treat this before I would seriously try to make something cool out of it. Because if you try to make something cool out of it when it's like this in the raw state, you're in for some very likely outcome. It's going to be highly entertaining. Yeah. It's going to be fun watching you. Just like it's fun watching me trying to do this. Come on. Well, I'm just going to sharpen the edges. Well, no, I'll do that later. This is good enough for now. Finally. Alright, so this one here, I might just leave it the way it is because this is pretty good. For this kind of material, getting a briquette or a large almond like this is pretty good. Yeah. I wouldn't go any thinner. What would I use it for? Let me see. Put it in a sling and shoot it. Yeah, just like this. Put it in a sling. I don't care if it's all wobbly in the flight. Just put it in a sling and shoot it. This is not a good one to make arrowheads out of. Alright, let's see. It would do more damage as a sling stone than it would as a projectile point. Believe me. Especially with this weight. Yeah. Stick off this pointy area and use it as a sling stone. It'll do more damage. But we're gonna humor. We're gonna humor everything and make it entertaining. Okay. We're gonna make it look like we know what we're doing. Trying to make miracles out of something that shouldn't be even in the discussion. Alright. Okay, I gotta do this fast so I don't think about it too much. If I think about this too much, it's gonna be a very long process. Excuse me while I zone out. I need to hit this so hard that it's I'm going to have the force disturbance in the force go all the way across the ocean back to where this came from. Yeah, that's how hard I'm going to hit this. Come on. Come on. Not like that. Oh, you almost did it. All right, we're going to go Metal on metal. Metal on metal. And don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me that I can't do this. There we go. Now we're cooking with some gas. Yes. Oh, I can feel the disturbance in the force is strong in this one. Okay. Yeah, this one is disturbing the force very strongly. I can actually smell the sparks, or you know, if I had the lights turned down, you could see sparks. I can smell the electrical smell. All right. Come on. A little bit more, and that's it. Go back to the metal. Here we go. There we go. No, not like that. Yes, little by little. Okay. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Okay. I think we're getting close. I think we're getting close, as long as we don't snap the whole thing. All right. Yeah, okay. Alright, then we can switch gears. Yeah, switch gears now, because it's thin enough that I can start to think about making something from it. As far as quartzite goes, it's not as crumbly on the edges as a lot of quartzite is, luckily. So it's not that bad. None of this stuff is all that bad. I've napped a lot worse, but it's just tough. This stuff is really tough. And I would probably heat treat this also. Yeah, I would probably heat treat it. Even though it's a quartzite and it might not do well, it might become very brittle also. It might snap in half easy. I would try heat treating it anyway. All of it at 400 degrees. All these pieces. 400 degrees. Fahrenheit degrees. Yeah, see, I can take off small chips now, and it'll be effective. But when I was hitting it extremely hard, I was trying for the large flakes to get rid of the turtlebacks. Oops, come on, don't slip. I was trying to get rid of the big areas that were nasty. Now that it's thinner, I only had to take off thin flakes. Not as much power is needed for these smaller, thinner flakes. And yeah, I'm taking shortcuts. I'm not grinding. I'm just hitting the edges a little bit downward mostly, just to get rid of lumps and thick spots along the edge. Just get rid of those thick spots, hopefully. Okay. Just a little bit more. Yes? Okay. No. Okay, it's not going to let me take shortcuts. So here we go. Tough stone doesn't let you take shortcuts. Sometimes you get lucky, but most of the time no. Very hard hits. Come on. I'm trying to take these flakes off without a whole lot of force. Trying to. Sometimes you can isolate the platform enough so that you don't have to keep hitting it constantly with lots of force, but it's not working that great on this stuff. Even if it's got a perfect platform, you still gotta do a super smack on it. Okay, almost there. I think we're there. See, if I bring out the lateral dart foreshaft, will it fit? Ooh, almost. It almost fits into my fattest or biggest notched at lateral dart foreshaft. Yep. If it fits into my biggest notched at lateral dart foreshaft, that means it's good to go. So I'm going to try to make it good to go. Let's see. Not like that. Did it do it? Come on, tell me it did it. Yes. Ooh, almost. I gotta take that lump off that side. Come on, we're gonna do metal on metal. Make sure we get it done. Ooh, it looks like it did it. No. I don't know. Let's see. Not like that. Hold on. Metal on metal. It might have done it. Oh yes, we got plenty of room now. Okay, so that's thin enough that we can make something out of it. Just got to get rid of that step fracture. No big deal, right? Well, we'll see. Ouch. Should I do metal on metal? Nah, I might break it. Okay, come on. Don't make me get the metal out. See, I was trying to send a flake in so it would travel. It did a little bit. There we go. I cheated. Last resort. See, if that flake didn't cross the whole ways, then the last resort is to cheat to smack that step fracture in the face. Yeah, just smack it in the face. There it is. It's thin enough to make something out of. All right, so there we go. Part 2 is getting them to the point where I can make stuff out of these now. Except for that one, I already made this. I'm not going to change it. But these, I got to figure out what to make out of them. Yep. So there you go. Part 2. And that's it.